Good afternoon, students. Today we will see how to connect database with the Java. We are using the database name as MySQL. First of all, we have to download it from the dev.mysql.com /download/installer. In this tab, you have to select Windows x86 32-bit MSI installer. That is the second one. Download this setup, execute it, that is it means install it properly. After completion of the installation, you will see like this MySQL command line client. You will get such a command prompt of the MySQL. While installing this MySQL, it will ask you for the search details like enter the password, what are the port number, etc. So make sure whenever you are entering the password, that password should be known to you, because after that this MySQL command line client will ask you for that same password, and the same password will allow you to connect with the database. So I'm entering my password over here. So now I'm connected to the MySQL command line client. Okay, as we already aware that how to use the database, what is a database, so I'm not going into that. Okay, so next part is our NetBeans. How we can connect this database to the NetBeans editor, that is a Java editor. Very first step when we are discussing about the database connectivity with the NetBeans or any editor, very first thing is remember to that is the connector. Regarding whatever the database you are using, the connector is very important. Okay, that connector has the .jar extension. So first of all, you have to add this jar connector file in your projects library folder, like library, add jar folder. Okay, then you have to go up, you have to select your MySQL folder, that is this PC, whatever my computer, this PC, C drive, go to the program files. After that, go to the MySQL where you downloaded that MySQL. Inside that, you will get connector J. When you are installing MySQL, that time it will ask you what type of MySQL setup you want. That is defaulter, server, full, or custom. In that, you select the full MySQL. Okay, then in that you will get automatically this connector J. Select this, click it and open. I already did, so I'm not clicking on open. Okay, so it will be here. After that you have to go in the services of the NetBeans. Okay, the services tab of the NetBeans. In that, you have to see whether I have the already MySQL driver inside the driver folder. If it is there, then right click on that driver, connect using. Then after that, make the details like a host, as we are working locally, so host should be our local host. Port is by default 3306. If we are making some changes manually in the port number, then and then this port number get differs. Otherwise, by default it has a 3306 port number. The database, what database name should you want to give, that should be here. The username, when we are installing MySQL, that time the username is always the root. The password is differs. Okay, depending on our password, we will connect it. Okay, after this entering the details, you have to test the connection, whether connection is succeeded or not. Okay, it says connection is succeeded, it means we are ready to connect our programming with this database. Okay, say next and then finish. Okay, I already did this whole thing, so I'm clicking on the cancel, but you have to click on next and then finish. Okay, if this driver is not present in your NetBeans, then right click, say new driver, then add, then again the same procedure that is we did in the lab for the library folder. Same procedure we have to do for this driver. Select the MySQL connector jar file, open it, then it will take automatically your driver class. If it is not taking, then click on find and select. There are a number of drivers are available. From this number of drivers, you have to select com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Okay, then we say okay. After clicking on okay, it will look like this MySQL connected JDriver. Okay, so this is about your database connectivity to the NetBeans. Okay, this is not the programming part. This is about our technical part. Okay, where to insert our jar file, how to connect that jar file to the database, all these details are here. Now we will look into the actual programming of the Java for this database connectivity. I have created the one database name as a MySQL. Okay, the name, its name is as a MySQL. So I'm connecting it. It is asking me for the password. Here we are entering the password. Okay, so here is my password. This is my SQL database. Inside this, I have created the two tables, that is a fee report accountant and fee report student. Inside this first table, I need the 5 fields, that is ID, name, password, email and contact number. Okay, in this ID is my primary key, whereas name varchar, password is varchar, email is my varchar and contact number is also varchar. Next is my fee report student. In this roll number and the last registered date. First roll number is my primary key and last registered date I have mentioned that default value. It means when I'm inserting any data, it will take the system date. It will automatically take the system date. I don't need to manually put the date inside it. Okay, so that changes we did. What are the fields for this fee report student? That is roll number, name, email, what is the course, what is the fees of that course, how many you pay for that course, what is the due, it means how many, what is the fee amount, that is if 12,000 and you pay 10,000, the due is the 1,000 fees you have to pay. Then address your city, state, country, contact number and the registered date. Okay, these two tables I needed for this program. Okay, very first, now I'm going into the mine projects, and that fees is the name of a project. Okay, now the very first, that is accountant login. Accountant login. I have, first of all, I will show what exactly the output of this program. Okay, run file. I'll show you how what is exactly the process of this project. That is 2 pages. Then after that, we will look into the actual programming, how they did that. Okay, AVHI, as already I said, I made a two table. Inside that, I already mentioned the name and password. So I'm aware what is the name and the password. So I'm entering over here. It is saying login. If it is correct, it will say login successfully. In that, another section is my accountant section. In that accountant section, we made the 5 buttons. That is, first one is the add student, second one is your view student, and the third is edit, due fee and the logout. About this, we will look into the only add, view, edit. The first is a add student. Add student is nothing but going to insert your data in your particular table. Okay, as we are aware that I'm using the MySQL as my database. Okay, so I'm taking select start from as my fee report underscore student. Yeah. Okay, so I do have the 5 records in my database. Now I'm entering the 6th record. So name, I'm entering the name is as a John, as it's very popular name, John K@gmail.com. The course is I'm taking Java. The fee is for that 12,000. I paid 10,000. My due is 2,000. Address is my Nerul. I'm entering the city. City is itself my Nerul. State is my Maharashtra. Then my country is India. The contact number, I'm taking random numbers. So I'm adding the student. It is saying student added successfully. Yeah, very well. Then back. Now I want to see whether my data is added successfully. It is showing me that added successfully, but I want to see whether it is added or not. Now view student, it will show me 6 johnk@gmail.com and all the details are there. Okay. Then again for this same thing, I'm showing over here also 6 John, you're getting this. Then I want to edit the details of this last one, that is 6 John. I entered the course as a Java, but I forgot to mention it as a core Java. So I want to edit it. How can we do that? Clicking on the edit student, I know the roll number of that student, that is a 6. Okay, 6. I'm loading the record. Here is my record. So I want to make the changes like a core Java. So I'm updated here. Yes, student updated successfully. Now I want to recheck it again. Yes, it's mentioned like a core Java. Very well. Then after that, log out. Close. Now, exactly you will get an idea what is going on over here. So we have made the 2 pages, that is account and login, add student, edit student, view student. This 4 to 5 pages are there. Only the one page, that is how to add the student and how we can make the login page. Okay, we will be focusing on that only. Very first, the main important thing is to connect the programming with the database. That the database connectivity is very, very important. So here we made the one class file. We made one class file. In that class file, whatever the important function we needed, we inserted all that function in the class file. Whenever we want this function, we just call this class file and will work. Okay. So in this class file, what firstly we did, that is a getCon. GetCon is my function name. Inside this function, what actually did is the my connection queries, my connection links mentioned here. Okay, so very first, as we basically know what are the import statement we need, that is import java.sql.driver manager, import java.sql. Prepared statement, import java.sql.result set. These are the important things that we need, and one more is a java.sql.connection. Okay, so we are making the object of this connection, that is con is equal to null. Initially we are not connected, that's why it is a null. Now we are entering into the try block, that is a class.for name, as we are connecting with MySQL. So that is the reason com.mysql.jdbc driver. If you are using MS SQL server, then com.microsoft.sql server.jdbc.sql server driver should be there. If you are using Apache, then org.apache.derby.jdbc.client driver should be there. But most preferably we are using the MySQL. So my class name is com.mysql.jdbc.driver. If you are confusing how this name is came from this, okay, how we can notify. Okay, so simply we have to go here, properties, see over here. This is your driver class and this is your database URL. You have to simply copy these things. Okay, simply copy this thing, nothing else. Okay, copy and put here paste. Okay, now driver manage.get connection is actually giving the connectivity to our database. Okay, JDBC MySQL localhost 3306 database name as 0 date time behavior is equal to convert to null, because when we are doing the things on this, that time it asks us for this link. Okay, when we are adding the drivers and connecting, that time it is automatically generated, that is 0 date time behavior is equal to convert to null. So we need to mention that also. Then we are entering the username and the password. This is all about actual main connectivity. This is about the actual what is important. Very first, this connectivity is important. Okay, then after that, add student is on, sorry, accountant login is our page, main page. That is, there is a username and the password. Like, I'm again running this file. Yeah, here, accountant login, name, password, text fields, login button, back button, and all this frame and all that. So design part is important over here. So what we did, very first, whatever the necessary import statement that we needed, we are added that. So accountant login is the name of our class, extending the JFrame as we know AWT concept. So I don't think so need to explain, elaborate this again. Starting, okay, accountant login frame, all these things we did. Frame is equal to new accountant login. That is, whenever we are running that page, that time this accountant login will be visible for us. That's it, visible is equal to true. The constructor of this class, in that constructor, all the design part things we mentioned, okay, like your JLabel username, text field, JLabel your password, and your password field. Password field will allow you to not show the letters, okay, that is a password field. Then button link, new J button. Okay, on clicking on the login button, that is a click action is getting to be performed. So I need to handle one event, that is the action performed. Okay, whatever the details I am entering in this field, name and password, I want to grab this field in certain variables, like a string. I'm taking two variables like a name and password. I took that field, whatever the enter data in the variables, respectively name and password. In that, I created one variable, boolean status is equal to accountant DAO. This is our class file. This is our class file. Inside this class file, we are created one function as a validate. In that validate function, name and password are the two parameters which will allow you to show whether this accountant login details are correct or not. How? Now we can see after entering into this accountant DO. This is the validate function. Name is my ABHI and password is my ABHI. Okay, so here is my string name and password. Already I got that. So we know that how we can make this correction key, whether this name and password is correct or not, by help with the help of only database. Okay, so first of all we need the connection. So we took this connection object con is equal to getCon. As we know, getCon is a function, so it will jump over here. It will take all the for name, driver manager, get connection. It is getting connected now. Now it is connected. So next is the 27th line says that prepared statement, PS is equal to con dot prepared statement. What exactly this will do? It will access your query result. It will give you the query result. This PS object will give you the query result, like a select start from fee report accountant, and that it will check whether whatever the entering data, name is equal to that data, password is equal to that data. If that data is matches with this query, and the resultant will be getting something yes no. Okay, select start from fee report. Like for example, I'm showing you like the select start from fee report underscore accountant, where my name is equal to ABHI and what was that password? It's equal to ABHI. Okay, so look, I got the one result. So my details are correct. So my details are correct. It will set the string, result set RS. So I got something in this RS. Okay. So that RS is going to be in a status. Status is equal to rs.net. That is status is my true. Now I'm returning that status. Okay. So I got the true value to this status. So again, we are jumping to the next Java file, that is accountant login. Status. Yeah, I got that status value, that is true. If status is true, and then it will go to the next window, that is the accountant section. Okay, that is accountant section that we saw the four five buttons are there, that is the accountant section. Okay, this file will get open, sorry, this frame will get open. Now we are clicking on the add student. Okay, accountant section. After this accountant section, we are adding on the add student. Okay, and this again same thing, we have to apply all the required fields, design part, add student, that set visible true, we need this thing. Again add student, all the design part in your constructor. On clicking on the add student, we have to grab the things in the variables respective with respect to that text field dot get text, then name get text, then the email goes, and fee is my in the integer, so we need to pass it. Integer dot parse int is the your parsing from the string to integer. So integer dot parsing, parsing, and then normal one. Again, student s is equal to new student. This student is again a class file. This is a class file. Okay, this add student, student s is equal to new student, name, email, all the details, all these details. All these details we are passing to this student constructor. Okay, to this student constructor. Okay, so again we are jumping here. Okay, we are passed all these things into the constructor. So get state, due date, whatever the due date, it will get it. Okay, after that add student. Again, now we declare whatever the s inside this s, all the details of the student are acquired in the s variable, in s object. Integer status, again we have created one variable, that is integer status is equal to student dao dot save. This dao again the database file. Okay, that is a class file. Inside this student dao, there is a function as a save. There is a function as a save. So student dot save, inside it ace. This ace is carrying all these details like name, abc, whatever it may be. Okay, so it is carrying this thing. So it will jump again to the student DAO. Sorry, student DAO. Again, we have to create the connection. That is important. Connection con object. We know that class file is accountant DAO has the get connection function. So account DAO dot get con is needed to write down. Again, the prepare statement is necessary to insert the data. So we made the insert query for this. Okay, like values, as we are aware how to write the insert query. So we return the insert query. So we are setting all the strings. So 1 comma s dot get name, it means on the get name it will be going on the name folder, yani ki name column. Okay, in the name column it will go email column, course column, fee column, paid column, all these details will be going there. Status ps is equal to execute update. When it is executed successfully, then it will say true. Okay, then it will say again true. Status is greater than 0. It means the student added successfully. All these fields after that should be cleared. So that is the reason set text simple double inverted comma, nothing else. If the status is getting false, it means it is, if there is any error, little bit error with your insert query or other things, then it will go automatically in your else part, that is sorry, unable to add students. So in this way we can add the student in the database, that is a pre-report student table. In same way, we can update data, we can delete data, simple, same way. All this coding is same except the query. Okay, if you are inserting data, so write the query of insert. If you are updating the data, write the update query there. If you are selecting data, then there is a little bit change, but while selecting, sorry, while updating, deleting and inserting data, that time we always have the same fashion of the code. Okay, there is a only change in your queries. Next, that is a selecting when we are viewing the viewing the data, that is view students. Okay, in that what we did, we are using the array list. As we know, array list is used for the dynamic database. Okay, dynamic changes. So we are using the array list. This in this again get connection, prepared statement, all the same things we are taking, and then we are adding that list, we are adding into that list. Okay, then this dot add of s, as we know s is carrying all the objects, that is name, email, or everything. So we are adding that data and showing onto the screen, that is with the help of view student. So this is all about your database connectivity with the Java programming. Simple thing, very important thing is to connect the data with your program. Okay, the very first thing you have to make sure there is a jar file in your project folder of the library, that is a projects library folder. After that, in the services, your driver should get connected, that is important thing. These are the two important things to connect this database. Any database you can connect in this fashion. Okay, if there is a MySQL, then you have to make sure you have the MySQL jar file. If there is a MS SQL, then make sure you have the MS SQL jar file. All this about your database connectivity with Java, with adding the student, updating the student, how to update, how to add the student, that we saw. Okay, again how to log in, that back button, add student, view student, edit student, view fee, log out, everything that we saw in this tutorial. Thank you so much for the listening. Thank you.